Hello, and thank you for tuning into Tech Talk Tuesday. My name is Brian Mursky, and I am the owner of Veranda Technologies. We're here in Brick Township, and we service the Monmouth, Ocean, and surrounding counties in New Jersey. So, we haven't done a video on this topic, I don't believe, at all. We do send out emails and Facebook messages to our friends, colleagues, and clients from time to time as a more frequent reminder. But I wanted to do a video about slowing down and using common sense and just thinking about what it is that we're doing, because that alone can greatly increase our safety online and offline, quite frankly. What happens is we get busy, and we're all running businesses, so we're running from place to place, we're putting out fires all day long. I do it too. And we get a phone call or a website that pops up with a phone number on it claiming that we have a problem with our PC, or somebody will call on the phone and claim that there's a virus on our machine or a problem that needs to be rectified. And we're busy. We allow ourselves to get sucked into the conversation, and before we know it, it's too late. And all too often I've seen people lose entire bank accounts, large sums of money, run up huge credit card bills that then have to be fought. So the message is simple. And there's a few messages, but they're all simple. The first is, if you get a call from anyone, I don't care who they are, what number they're calling on, who they say they're with. They could say they're with the FBI, the IRS, Microsoft, American Express, your bank. I don't care. If they are really with who they say they're with, you can tell them that you'll call them back, find a phone number for them, and get in touch with them. Nothing is that urgent that it needs to be taken care of immediately right now while we're on the phone, and there is no reason to believe that they are who they say they are, if they're calling you. One of the most common types of these calls is Microsoft. It's not really Microsoft. It's people saying they're calling from Microsoft or antivirus vendors, for example, and they will walk you through to, they'll ask what operating system you have. Typically, you'll tell them Windows 7 or Windows Vista or Windows 10 or whatever, and then they'll walk you through to a file or a registry setting or something on the computer, and they will read you a long string of characters. And look at that, it matches the number you're looking at, which is enough to convince you, if you're busy, that they know what they're talking about. Except that number is the same on every computer in the world, and they've really just done nothing except read a number. But now you're hooked, because you believe that they are who they say they are, and there's no end in sight. They can keep you on the phone for hours, and they do keep people on the phone for hours. They drain people's accounts. We have not a client of ours, but a local colleague who has a client who received a call recently. They outright said, "I'm not giving you credit card number information over the phone," and the person on the other end of the phone said, "No problem, I wouldn't expect you to. All I need, you can send us a check." And the person's like, "Really?" That's, caught them off guard, right? Because they're allowing them to send a check. Doesn't even have to be a good check. And I could write you a check. It could be a 12-year-old check. And they said, "All we need to do is make sure that the checking account is good. Can you give us the routing number and the check and the account number?" And the person did. And within 5 minutes, their account was empty, because that's all somebody needs to take money out of your account. So they gave them an out on the credit card. It sounded too good to, it might sound too good to be true to me. It sounded safe to this person, and they got taken advantage of. So you never want to give out personal information to anybody on the phone. I wouldn't even give out credit card info, social security number, date of birth info to people that I know who I'm talking to, unless it's like my credit card company and I've called them, or something like that, a mortgage company. The other thing that's pretty important is to, not only should you know who your vendors are, right? So my clients know that Veranda Technologies is their IT vendor. They'll also know, we make sure they know who their security folks are, who installs their cameras, who does their voice over IP phones. If it's not us, we want them to know who they are so that you can educate your staff on who they're allowed to talk to, right? If somebody calls and says, I'm calling from so-and-so, all right, no problem. Let me call you back in 5 minutes. And then you call that company back. Just tell them you're busy. You'll call them back in 5 minutes. Nothing needs to be done right now. Slow down. Think about what it is that you're doing, who you're talking to. Give yourself an out. If you have to, call somebody like us, call a friend, another firm nearby and say, does this sound right? Then call the company back and say, what can we do for you? And at that point, you're at a slower pace. You're thinking about what it is you need to be doing. You should know who your antivirus company is. So all of our clients, we install AVG. If you get a pop-up from Norton, or a pop-up that looks like it's from Norton that says, virus detected, click here, Norton's not your antivirus software. Of course you shouldn't click it. You should call us and say, why is this popping up? I thought we had AVG. But if you don't know that you have AVG, or you don't know who your antivirus is, then obviously you can get caught off guard easier. So familiarize yourself with your security. Know what you have in place. Know who put it in place. Just be smart about what websites you're visiting, what attachments you're opening. If you get something from, I have a mortgage guy, his name is Mike. If I got a document from him today and said, I need you to review this document, there's no chance in hell I'm opening it, because I'm not going through a refinance. We haven't talked in a couple weeks. There's no paperwork pending. So just because it's coming from somebody I know, right? Email viruses propagate through email all the time. Just because you're getting something from somebody whose name you recognize, it doesn't mean that they know they sent it. They could have sent it, by accident. They could be sending a virus that they don't know is a virus. It could have come from, whoever they process through. So just slow down, think about what you're doing, be safe, educate your employees, educate your staff. Ask us for training. If you're one of our customers and you want to have us come in and dive into more detail on any of these topics, let us know. Be more than happy to come in and do it free of charge. If you're not one of our clients and you want us to come in and talk to you, we're happy to do that free of charge. And if there's any information or topics you want to know more about, hear about on our weekly videos, or just shoot questions to us, by all means, our email address is helpdesk@verandatech.com. That's helpdesk at verandatech.com. You can find us at verandatech.com or facebook.com/verandatech. Otherwise, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week on Tech Talk Tuesday.